It was a chilly evening in the small village of Amakwi, a place where everyone knew everyone else. The village was surrounded by lush green forests and had a small river that snaked its way through the fields. Despite its beauty, the village bore its own share of sorrows, and none was as tragic as the story of Mama Ezen. Mama Ezen was an old woman. Her frail frame stooped from years of laboring in her farm and caring for her family. She had a quiet demeanor, often keeping to herself, but she was known for her kindness. Whenever anyone needed help, Mama Ezen was the first to lend a hand, even if it meant giving away the little she had. Her two sons, Chibuzo and Uchenna, were her pride and joy. They were the reason she woke up every morning with a song on her lips. Chibuzo, the oldest son, was strong and hardworking. He often joked with his mother, saying he would build her a big house one day and take her to see the city. Uchenna, on the other hand, was quieter and more sensitive, with a love for books. He dreamed of becoming a teacher, and Mama Ezen had sold almost all her prized possessions to ensure he attended school. But life, cruel as it could be, had other plans. One fateful night, the village was plunged into darkness. The moon hid behind thick clouds, and the air was eerily still. Mama Ezen had just finished her prayers and was about to retire for the night when she heard frantic knocks on her door. It was Chibuzo. "Mama, lock the door. Don't open it for anyone," he said, his voice trembling. Before she could ask what was wrong, he disappeared into the night. Moments later, the sound of gunshots shattered the silence. Mama Ezen's heart pounded in her chest as she clutched her wrapper tightly. The night stretched on endlessly. At dawn, the truth emerged. Armed robbers had stormed the village, targeting homes and shops. In their attempt to protect the villagers, Chibuzo and Uchenna had confronted the robbers. They were both shot dead. The news hit Mama Ezen like a thunderbolt. Her legs gave way, and she crumpled to the ground, wailing. The sound of her cries echoed through the village, pulling at the hearts of those who heard her. But grief, as heavy as it was not the end of her suffering. Days after the burial of her sons, whispers began to spread. It started with a few women at the market. Then the rumors gained momentum. Some villagers began to believe that Mama Ezen had brought misfortune upon her own children. They said it was her fault they had died. They claimed she had angered the gods, or worse, that she was a witch who had sacrificed her sons for some sinister purpose. Why would both her sons die on the same night? A man asked at a village meeting. "It's unnatural. She's cursed," another woman whispered. "I always knew there was something strange about her." The accusations grew louder with each passing day. Children ran away whenever Mama Ezen walked by. Women avoided her in the market, and men refused to greet her. Someone even painted a red X on her door, marking her as an outcast. Mama Ezen's once bright eyes grew dull. She stopped going to the market and stayed indoors, only venturing out early in the morning to fetch water when no one was around. Her tiny mud house, which used to be filled with the laughter of her sons, now echoed with silence. One afternoon, a group of villagers confronted her. They demanded she confess her crime. "What crime?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "The crime of killing your own children," a man shouted, his face twisted with anger. Tears streamed down Mama Ezen's face. "I would never harm my boys. They were my life, my only joy." But her pleas fell on deaf ears. They dragged her to the village square, forcing her to kneel before the elders. The crowd jeered and hurled insults at her. Some threw stones, one of which hit her forehead, leaving a deep gash. The village priest, a man of wisdom and compassion, finally intervened. "Enough," he thundered. "Have you all lost your humanity? This woman has suffered enough. She's a grieving mother, not a witch." The crowd murmured, but the priest's words carried weight. Slowly they dispersed, though the whispers and cold stares continued. Alone in her house that night, Mama Ezin cried until she had no tears left. She clutched an old shirt of Chibuzo's and a book that belonged to Uchenna. Her heart ached for the life she once had, a life filled with love and laughter. Months turned into years. The villagers moved on, but Mama Ezin remained a shadow of her former self. The few who tried to reach out to her were met with silence. She had built walls around her heart, walls no one could break. One day, a young girl named Amara, who had heard the stories, visited Mama Ezin. She brought with her a basket of food and flowers from the forest. At first, Mama Ezin was hesitant, but Amara's persistence paid off. Over time, the girl's innocence and kindness thawed the old woman's frozen heart. Amara became the daughter Mama Ezin never had. Through her, the villagers began to see the truth. They realized the pain they had caused, but by then, Mama Ezin was too weary to care. She found solace in the quiet moments she shared with Amara, and though her heart remained heavy, she found a sliver of peace in the young girl's presence. The story of Mama Ezin became a cautionary tale in Amakwi, a reminder of the cruelty of baseless accusations and the strength of a mother's love, even in the face of unimaginable tragedy.